how would you get an A&R's attention without coming to the A&R? How would you just, like have a connection, like, with an artist and an A&R? Like,
leverage, conquer wherever you are, whatever city you're in. Do your thing first. This is an independent market where there's no major label guys up here, and our ears are to the grindstone constantly. It's never changed. It's always been word of mouth. We just ended up at a show. Like I saw a band last night that I knew about but I hadn't seen before, and I actually ended up liking them. And now I was just there on a fluke, and so now they're on my radar.
You don't have to worry about how to find or contact an A&R person. If you're doing whatever you're doing, if you're in Toledo, Ohio, selling out clubs, people talk, and we will find you. It's all you have to do is just be great at what you do, and people will talk. You're going to be ready for whatever deal it is because people will be offering you deals.
Yeah, be great and be active. Those are the two things, really. Obviously, just being great in your bedroom without letting the world hear it isn't going to get you anywhere either.
Right.
But if you're great and you're out there doing the work and are active, I promise you that the next Beatles are not toiling in obscurity somewhere, playing every night in a club in Idaho somewhere without any ability to get anywhere. Like if they're that good, somebody found them and told somebody in a little bit of a bigger place, who told somebody, who blogged about it, who made it come to the attention of an attorney, who called them, who contacted a label. Like that's how the world works.
You see that the fans are much more flighty. They're kind of shifting between bands. They're not really following up. They follow festivals. They follow different things. They follow different other aspects of the music industry, but they rarely follow one band. And what we've discussed in Europe and different panels and stuff is that we see that there's a diminishing or a sort of a meltdown of the fan culture. Would you say that that's the same thing here in the States?
There's a book that Jason Bentley told me about called The Paradox of Choice, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I'm not quite sure it's about necessarily the quality or lack thereof of music that's out there. I just think because there's so much out there and it's so accessible, that's probably why. I mean, it goes back to why we're in a different phase of how music is promoted and marketed. It's no longer about the positives and the negatives in radio research or research in general. It's about people wanting to find that thing that they love, and there's so much.
I think that basically there's definitely a cultural ADD that is prevalent, and that really there's just so many great things you can do with your time that you didn't used to be able to do. And there's so much novelty, not just in content, but in ways of experiencing content. The channels of distribution keep getting revised, and new innovations in how things get out to you, new devices, new apps, new programs, that never existed before, that are just fun to use. That to me is a crisis in the content world in general, to be honest. I think that we're at a little bit of a moment in history where the means of listening to music, or for that matter, the means of watching video or whatever, in some ways is more exciting than the content itself. Not because the content's not great, but because there's such a novelty attached to these great new technologies, great new gadgets.
What are some of the core values in your entities that you would still then try and convince a band to work with you, or that you kind of still put as the main priority to your business?
There, it gets more difficult too with bands that have proliferated online or have built an audience online. You try to explain to them, having 37 fans in St. Louis is just not going to be enough to really sort of tour profitably and make a really good living. And that our sales pitch is we want to take you to the next level. Bands are building audiences online. They're making money. So you have to be persuasive, and in the world, like we were saying, there's so many bands out there. I like to think that independent labels are kind of gatekeepers and some sort of good housekeeping stamp of approval for fans and for other gatekeepers like radio, journalists, other bands. When we're approaching people with our music, it has our label on it, and it means something because we are the label that discovered Metric. We are the label that discovered Death from Above. We are the label that discovered Crystal Castles. And when we come to Brooklyn Vegan or we come to South by Southwest, we're able to get you into an advantageous position because of where we've been and what we've done. And you want to stack the deck as much as possible, and we help you stack the deck for yourself. So when you're 30 years old, you're not kind of looking back, kicking yourself because you didn't bring team members on to grow the pie.
Yeah, amen to that. I mean, the artists that I love to work with the most are the ones who come in with lots and lots and lots of great ideas of their own, but who are open to great ideas no matter where they come from. And that's more rare of a breed than you might think, because some people just think they know everything, and then there's other people who really don't know anything at all and have very little to contribute. Either of those extremes I always find leads to failure. It's just somebody who says, right, I want to help stack the deck. I'm open to having the deck be stacked. Those are the artists who tend to go the distance.